So, Liam, when did you get the sense that, yep, you're leaning on number one?
Pretty early. I mean, after that first drive, I think the first drive was fairly balanced, but you saw some things that the O-line came off the sideline, just mentioning that they felt like that, we could get some movement in the run game, and you just kind of, after probably we get stopped, backed up, then we get the penalty on the punt, then we hit the 75-yarder, and you're like, okay, things are looking good, and it was very well blocked. The O-line, really played great. The tight ends played great. The receivers blocked, and obviously Ray, specifically in the running backs, did a great job.
You had a cool moment with him after the game, going into the tunnel. So
just proud of him, in terms of his journey of getting to this place. I know it has not been an easy journey for him, and to see all the work he's put in come to head today was just, he dominated, right? I mean, he dominated, and the O-line dominated, and when you're running the football like that, typically good things are going to happen.
Coach, when you get into production now, the right side of the offensive line is being cut back.
Yeah, I mean, I think Flax and Jagger did some good things, and I think the tight ends really did a nice job collapsing the edge at times, and a lot of those runs were on the corner in a hurry. And when you can, that's everything we talk about in the run game, is try to make corners tackle. Make corners tackle, put the ball on crack replace corners, and at the end of the day, he was able to make some of those guys miss as well, which led to some of the big explosive runs.
Hey, Coach, when you're doing you're calling a game and you've got a guy like that just doing his thing, but you have pre-game prep and you're trying to keep it balanced. How do you find that balance where you're not just overusing the guy, but you're still just giving him the ball?
Yeah, I think we still kind of threw it, but I wasn't, the only thing that could ultimately lose the game would be to turn the ball over. And when you have a hot hand and the O-line's blocking the way they were, and we were running the football, I mean, we're going to lean on that. And at the end of the day, each game's its own entity, right? Like, we've won games, obviously we're 5-0. We've won games having to throw the football so far this year, for the most part. And last week it was a little bit more balanced. The run game got going. If you look at Akron or some of those things, guys threw the ball pretty well. Each week's its own entity. Each week's different, and if we have the right guys in this locker room that only care about winning, then they'll come back with the right attitude, ready to go against Georgia.
Liam, what was your assessment of Devin's play?
Yeah, I think that early on, I thought he was playing pretty well. We have the drop in the end zone on the first drive of the game. He makes a great throw, and then the one almost interception. It was kind of a bang. The corner made a great play. I think we had again 3 or 4 drops, and at the end of the day, it's hard when you only have so many opportunities, especially in a game where you are leaning a little bit more on the run, and the passing ops are a little bit more limited than they have been in weeks prior, and we don't take advantage of those ops. It just becomes a little bit more magnified.
How much do those drops impact the quarterback's confidence?
I don't know. I don't think he loses much confidence in those guys, honestly. I think they have such a really a good rapport, a friendship, a belief in each other. I think it's just something we have to get fixed, and we have to get in the weight room. We got to get stronger and maybe more accurate on the throw. I don't know. I can't really tell you what it all is, but for us to move the chains and be efficient on third down, we've got to start to catch football better.
How can you fix drops?
Reps, I guess. Reps, focus, detail. More reps, get on the jugs, and get as much time on task throwing the football as you can. And I believe in those guys. I do. They wouldn't keep playing if we didn't believe. And at the end of the day, we believe in everybody in that room. Today, it just so happened to be one of those games that we ended up believing in the run game a little bit more than the pass game.
Much better on first down. Did you change anything there?
Probably a little bit more patience.
Really?
Probably a little bit more patience. Sometimes when we get off schedule, I get frustrated with myself because maybe after an earned first down, I'm trying to create an explosive with maybe a play pass or pushing the ball down the field. I felt like today we got some more earned firsts and we jumped the ball. and we utilized a little bit more tempo. Still only ran 50 whatever plays, but we ran more tempo plays today than we've run, all year. And I felt like it helped us at times, and we were just a little bit more efficient running the football, specifically after an earned first down, that I think kept us ahead of the chains and out of some bad third downs and second and extra longs that had been an issue for us in weeks past. And that also takes away some of the passing ops. Like when we don't have to throw it to get back to 1st and 10, you don't really want to at times.
Liam,
Go ahead.
with Ray, how high does that rank in your mind of best games you've seen in person by running back?
I mean, I thought he was extremely patient, letting things develop. We had a great plan. We had some runs, some gap schemes that were running into pressure. I mean, one thing that I don't want to let go unnoticed is Devin Leary had, I would say, at least 10 to 12 audibles in this game that led to a lot of big hits. And that's something that probably won't go in the stat book. But he made all the right calls. A ton of checks were put on him during this game, and that allowed us to run plays into really clean looks. And then Ray kind of did the rest.
How much freedom does he have in that regard with Devin?
It's not freedom. It's not free. It's just 2 plays.
Okay.
We're giving him 2 plays in the huddle.
Okay.
And he has a criteria of why he's going to either keep a play on or audible that play. Mm-hmm. So it's 2 plays are called in the huddle, but he has to still make the right decision. Trust what he sees, see the clock, execute the offense, and he did a phenomenal job when it comes to that today.
Liam, after a strong first quarter, and then the strong, really 25 minutes here today after the strong first quarter last week. You're seeing it come together. Do you have confidence that it's starting to come together, and you guys are ready for this challenge?
I think so. I mean, I think that each week is its own entity, as I mentioned. I mean, one week will be one way, another will be a different way, and I was proud of the guys, the way they responded and took last week some of the confidence that we did build from last week into today. Was it perfect? No. But again, we're not going to apologize for good wins.
What's it been like coaching in the booth? Is it kind of
cool,
more
man.
adjusted to it?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, gets you away a little bit, right? and just kind of off the emotion of it. And you can definitely see the game better. It's not a question of being able to see it. You can definitely see it better up top, but sometimes I do want to be down there, right? But I think for right now, it's the best thing for our team.
When you're up top, you got to have guys below that you trust and know you.
Right.
Does that help having Woody?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, he's the one, able to communicate with the quarterback a bunch, and during timeouts or on the sideline, and really, I thought we did a great job as a staff today communicating with our players what was working, what we had to adjust to, how to keep guys up after maybe a negative play or a down play, and then also to keep them balanced after some positive momentum. I was really proud of our staff. They did a great job throughout the week. Our GAs and QCs did an unbelievable job throughout this work week of getting a scout team to play and give us looks that Florida was giving us. It was really a full staff effort, full team effort.
Liam, you were here in 2021 with that great crowd for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
How did it compare today? Just
couldn't really tell because I was, in the box. You don't feel it, but my dad, I saw my dad after the game, and he said that the first half was pretty lights out in terms of the atmosphere. You could feel the tension. You could feel the confidence from not only the fans and our players and staff, and that was cool to hear. It was cool to hear that ultimately BBN showed up again. And that goes without saying.
Liam, I was going to ask, I know you guys have so much bigger goals left in the season, but this is only the second time since World War II that Kentucky's beaten Florida 3 straight years. How much does that mean to you, considering you've been part 2 of those?
Yeah, it's big time, man. I mean, I grew up watching Florida play, and I was a huge Danny Werfel fan back in the day, and Steve Spurrier fan, and
not many fans here.
No, I get that. I understand that, and to be a part of it is really cool, and especially to do it twice in Lexington is something that these 2 wins. I mean, you're not going to forget these moments, and hopefully our kids won't either.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Marcus,
Liam.
ready?
Yeah.